to my show. This is the Bledsoe Baby podcast.
The Bledsoe Baby podcast.
Shameless plug for my TikTok,
Bledsoe Baby.
Yeah.
Everybody go follow Bledsoe Baby on TikTok. It's lit over there.
It's lit.
It's honestly quite lit, if I do say so myself.
It's fun.
And I may agree with you myself.
Hey, man, we're on the same wavelength.
That's right.
I'm just doing my best.
You're doing great.
I love Bledsoe Baby. I'll be throwing that up to the Instagram all the time. It's wonderful. It's like it's the style of storytelling that like I can't do. You know what I mean? Like you're just adding such another awesome style to the same content. I love it.
I plug myself, and I'm a little shy about it.
Oh my God.
Why? Don't be shy about it. What is Bledsoe Baby?
It's my alternate TikTok, which is becoming my main TikTok.
It's the main TikTok.
Yeah.
It's definitely becoming my main. But it's just about all things Bledsoe related. Me, all of us, our family. I talk about a lot of different stuff. It's fun. Yeah.
It's cool because it's not like, it is mostly, it's a lot of like the phenomenon stuff, but it's also cool to see just like what your family's up to on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like your dad flying his planes and stuff, and like Chris Jr. working on like the boat and like all that stuff. It's cool.
And I like being able to give people visuals in a way that they can't have necessarily with the podcast and other outlets. So I'm able to interact with people and answer specific questions about things that they probably, have been wondering for a long time.
Yeah.
So
It's a cool, like, intimate, like, behind the scenes kind of look at the Bledsoe family.
yeah.
I dig it. It's super fun.
I'm the baby. So
Yeah.
You're the Bledsoe baby.
I like it. I 100% am here for it. I'm totally behind it. I love it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Good on you, mate.
So what's before we get into the what if stuff, we can get to that here in a minute, but like what have you been up to? How's it been at the house in the last couple months since the books come out?
It's been a whirlwind. It's been really crazy because I'm neighbors with our parents, so I'm there in the middle of it every day because I see them every day, and every day is something new. There's something different every single day, and it's really uplifting. It's very exciting. It's also pretty scary. I mean, change is scary regardless if it's good or not, and so some days are like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I need to like hold on to everything and keep it in a spot for a little bit, and then some days it's like, woo, let's ride this train, and you're just kind of, excited about life and how things are progressing, and the phenomenon has been reacting a lot lately in really exciting ways.
Like, you had a lot of like crazy sightings?
Yeah. Just the other night, I put this in the Discord. Like, I was just sitting in the living room, in Dad's living room, and there was an orb that just flashed and lit up the entire room in the house in the middle of the day.
Ryan just told me about that. That's insane.
That was like Wednesday night.
It's just like, all the time now. And like outside, I may or may not have... the thought to go look at the stars that night, and then I walk outside and they're like flashing me in the woods, like, come see us, and I'm like, okay. So then I go out, and like whether or not Dad or anyone's with me, there's just like orbs everywhere, like close up to me, like around me, in the trees and the sky, like everywhere, and then like owls making noise, and that's like a significant thing for us, and a lot of different weird kind of sightings that I don't know how to like explain, but things that seem like they appear midair, and then they're not like light. They're like solid objects that appear and then they fly a little bit and disappear midair.
Yeah, and I've also heard there's maybe been a lot of like low to the ground stuff lately.
That's what I'm saying, like in front of my face, like
that's
from me to Ryan.
Talk about some of the forms y'all have seen walking in the woods. Jack was mentioning that to me, and Dad.
Oh, okay. So, there was one day that Jack and I were walking to our house, or maybe we were taking our dog Honey out, and he was...
Shout out Honey.
Honey.
Shout out baby Honey.
My baby. So, he was looking over behind Dad's work shed, and he thought he saw Buddy run by. Buddy is our border collie. He's pretty big. And... it was not Buddy. It was
Jack saw this?
Mm-hmm. He was a little spooked.
Wait, it looked
He
like
saw a figure run that it was like a shadow.
Jack's like, it's Bill Dougal.
No, but stuff like that. Stuff like walking, like forms, very dark silhouettes and forms walking at a distance or like running by, or like I said, things appearing in midair, flying a little bit and then disappearing, or just like light orbs flashing, some moving steady, but mostly flashing and appearing for a few seconds and then.
I saw stuff like that on the beach last night with Nick.
Really?
We saw all kinds of like streaks and flares.
And how does it make you feel?
It always excites me.
Yeah, it's exciting, but I'm at a point where it personally like doesn't surprise me anymore. It's more like I don't know how to explain it. It's like something that you expect, but you're so happy that your expectations are met. But it's not a surprise anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Totally. Like, it's not a surprise. It's just like, for me lately, it feels like a coming home. I'm like I'm home. Like, this feels so like meant to be. And honestly, like, Jack said something that was so spot on. He was like, I feel like I'm an avatar and I'm with Awa, who is their like goddess, who is like nature and everything. And there was like one particular night where we had a lot of activity. I mean, like all around us, in our face, right above our heads, like for a long time. So anyway, I was talking about Awa, who is the goddess
from Avatar.
By the way, the new Avatar movie.
Both.
Both. I don't remember that from the
It's
first
probably
one.
been a while since you've seen it, right?
Remember the little floating jellyfish-looking things?
Yeah.
Hold on. When's the last time you've seen Avatar?
Oh,
A long time ago?
long time.
Okay, yeah.
And I haven't seen the second one.
So it's
It's so
all
good.
about the spiritual connection with Awa, both movies.
It's
like,
the consciousness of the planet.
Yes.
Remember,
Oh,
all the trees are
Big
like
tree
the trees are
and-
like the nexus points where they can interface with a living consciousness of the planet itself.
And you can see like the energy and stuff
Yes.
coming through. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
They
and
explain it like a network database mind.
And I love it so much how it's portrayed in the second movie.
Oh my god, dude, the second movie is phenomenal.
When we saw it over Christmas or whenever it came out,
Christmas,
like
yeah.
I couldn't talk for hours after. He can tell you, like
Yeah.
when we came
She
home,
was shook.
everyone was like, "The movie was amazing." I couldn't talk.
She was shook.
Damn.
I just felt so moved by it, and so that's how I felt. Like
That movie
that's
was
how I've been
esoteric
feeling
AF.
lately with the connection with the phenomenon, especially that one particular night. I'm not joking. I was just stunned and couldn't speak. And Dad's talking, blah blah blah, And Jack and I are standing there, and I think I blacked out for a while, and I was just there and absorbing the energy of it, and like amazed. And I've been seeing this my whole life, but the feeling is different. Like.
Something's definitely happening.
The connection is different. It's not like I'm surprised or like, whoa, I'm so amazed.
Do you see that? It's not like
I've been
that.
seeing stuff like this my whole life, but it's just
It's the emotional.
I've been getting tingles, like my whole body will just like spidey tingle.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like my hair will stand up and then flashes in the kitchen and stuff. Like it's
Do you feel like
it's potent.
Yeah. Do you feel like the change is in you or in the phenomenon?
I think it's both.
It's both. I think they go hand in hand. And I don't think it's just me. I think it's all of us.
Right.
I'm just at home,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just there.
Of course.
And
My
Dad
take
does
on
this
that-
every day.
Yeah.
My take on that is it's threefold. It's a change in you. It's a change in the phenomenon itself and how it's choosing to interact in a more intimate way. But it's also a change in the entire place or realm that we live in energetically.
I agree.
With all the astrological alignments, I think that there are major energetic shifts happening for everyone.
I agree.
Maybe it's like
I think they're just opening doors.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it's like momentum.
It's
is building.
reality itself.
Yeah.
I believe
I agree.
literally reality itself.
Wow.
We're getting closer to
like-
Aquarius, bro.
Yeah, more and more people are having experiences, and those experiences seem to be becoming like more, extraordinary. So it's almost like it's building this momentum, and each of those things strengthens each other.
Yes.
It strengthens your internal connection with the phenomenon. It strengthens the way that the phenomenon interfaces itself, and it changes reality, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. See, I've been saying for a long time, like I've never seen any of them low down ever. I've always seen them way up high.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see one.
Well,
low to
even the
ground.
high ones, like last night, maybe it was not last night, I was busy, but the other night, the night before last, Dad and I were out there, just me and him. And I said, I wish they would flash for us. We were looking up. Nothing was really much happening low. But I said, it would be really great if something would flash for us. And then it just started flashing, like, as I was saying that.
Like, repeatedly?
Yeah, and, like, it would flash bold and then kind of, like, fade away and then come back, and it just kept toying with us and flashing. And then it would move direction and stuff.
Damn. That's so wild.
Can I talk about the dream coincidence?
Yeah,
This is a what if. I don't want to.
No, there's no rush to get to the what if. You're here, just for the record, this wasn't planned. Emily happened to be in town because we're doing episode 100. And literally like 30 seconds before we hit record, we're like, Emily, sit down. So like no rules,
Yeah, so the dream coincidence was really weird. So Dad and I had essentially the same dream, but a little different. And then
me.
I'm not there yet.
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay,
unfolding the story.
I was like, don't leave me out. Zip it.
So I had this very vivid dream that, without going into too much detail, I was in this house with a bunch of people. Some were strangers, some were like family. But I don't really remember who was there. I just remember knowing them and not knowing some. And so I was in this house, and a bear comes in, tries to come in through the window. It's like breaking the window open to get in to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get away from this bear, this big brown bear. And it comes over to me and it hugs me. And as it hugs me to like cuddle me, it turns white, and it's a big fluffy white bear holding me. And then it, like, anyone who tries to approach me, it like lashes out at them and like attacks them. And while it was doing that, I snuck out of the house because I was freaked out. And I got in my car to drive away, and the bear ran outside and jumped on top of the car to stay with me. So anyway, I wake up and tell Dad this, and he's like, no way. I had a dream about a bear last night too that was coming at me, and I thought it was trying to harm me, but it was trying to connect with me and be sweet. And it was like out there fishing or something, and it saw him and came towards him, and he was scared, but it was nice.
Yeah.
So we put this in the group chat, and then Ryan said,
okay, so let me take over from here. So I'm 2 hours away over here in Wilmington, and my wife and I are both working from home. So I'm telling Jenny, like, wow, I had a vivid dream last night that I was like looking at this very friendly brown bear just kind of sitting down eating out of a jar of honey. And it was like when I woke up, I was super groggy. And you know how like you'll wake up, you'll remember a dream for a second, and then like it leaves and you forget about it.
Yeah.
And I woke up immediately thinking about the dream. I was like, I got to look this up. This has got to be something spiritual. And then I moved on. I just forgot. And anyway, so Dad in our family group chat drops these two messages about bear spirit animals, like what it means. And no context. Dad is funny. Dad is mysterious because he'll post something and he won't like give any context whatsoever. It'll be like a photo of some Utah petroglyph and he won't even like say the significance. He just expects us to go research it,
Yeah.
He likes to tease and see if you'll go like figure it out or something. And I saw that and I was like, whoa, Jenny, this is so crazy. This is when I started telling Jenny. I was like, I just had a dream last night that was super vivid that I forgot to look up that was about a bear eating honey. And Dad posted this. Why did he post this? And then minutes later, Emily, I didn't text in the group chat yet. Emily texts in the group chat and says, Dad and I both had a vivid dream about bears last night. And I'm looking at my wife like, what? So then I text them. I was like, I just had a dream about bears. And then you sent me the video that Mom sent you.
Yeah, so at the same time, Dad and I are having this conversation with Jack, and Ryan's having this conversation with Jenny far away. Mom is inside, nowhere near us.
She doesn't
to
even
hear
check
us.
the group chat. Period.
She's not looking at the group chat, and she's nowhere near us. And at the same time we're having this conversation, she sent me privately on Facebook a video of a bear on top of a car.
And
I had a dream about a bear on a car. And then Jeremy had just been sent a video or a Snapchat of someone's car that had been wrecked by a bear.
His buddy was a mechanic, and he was working on a car that was mauled by a bear.
And another level that I haven't told you is I was also talking about honey, not related to bears. And you said your dream was about honey because I've been reading, well, my dog's name is Honey. Yeah. I also love honey. Mm-hmm. And I've been reading this book, The Secret Life of Bees, which I told you about was a weird synchronicity because this book, like spoiler, the more you read about it, it's about like a young girl, teenager, like connecting with the mother. Like, and
Whoa.
I said, when I went to the bookstore, I said, I'm going to let a book choose me. And this book turns out to be about this young girl struggling with her family life and relying on Mary. But in this context, it's more of a natural sort of relationship with the mother than like Catholic relationship. So it shows me, and I'm sitting there talking to Dad about how she pours honey on the statue of Mary and rubs it in to preserve and connect with nature and the mother. And then the bear,
and the bear stuff, and in my dream it was eating honey. Yeah, so weird.
This all literally happened like the same day.
Yes.
In the same time.
Wait, okay, so let's take it one step further. It was the night of that major full moon.
Yep.
In Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a major
morning.
Astrological event.
It was yesterday.
Right.
Technically, yeah.
May 5th.
From our recording perspective.
Yes.
Yeah. May 5th. The night of May 5th.
Which
so
was a
we went
big
to sleep
day.
May 4th, all had that dream. So the May 5th, we all wake up and we're like, whoa, and all this stuff's popping off.
Mm-hmm.
So absurdly wild.
So life is like, I don't know what reality is anymore. I just don't. So I wake up and
It's getting very
I'm just
abstract.
enjoying the ride and like laughing
Making
at
awesome
the good and the
TikToks
bad. And yeah.
Just being Bledsoe, baby.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
tell him how you came up with the name.
It was a gut instinct, and I just typed it in to see if it was available and accidentally pressed confirm and then couldn't back out.
It was meant to be.
Bledsoe Baby. I
It was-
didn't consider any other names.
So funny.
It was meant to be.
Any other crazy stories or anything happening lately, or you've?
They'll come to me randomly and I'll interrupt.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey, do you wanna do some what ifs?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So this is the 11th what if?
Yep.
is
We have an
what
angry
if.
mob
Oh,
out there
that's
waiting to hear the what ifs.
Oh, I did want to say that numerology wise, like I have been seeing a lot, like extra amount of like numbers popping up. So like when I was in Florida 2 weeks ago for Jack's pickleball, he played at the US Open. He got silver. Which is really good.
It's amazing.
With a partner he has played with like a couple of times. So that's amazing. But
Yeah,
anyway,
incredible.
I was seeing 33 everywhere. And I know there's other numbers you can see. And that one's like, everyone's like 33. But I was seeing it everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Literally to the point where I was sitting in the car with Jack. And I said, Jack, I'm not lying. I see 33 everywhere. And I looked to the side. And as I said that, there was a boat on the side of the road. And the number on the boat was 33.
It was just 33?
Yeah.
Like, just 33.
That was the number on the boat. Like a boat.
Like it's so in your face at this point. It's
Yeah.
like you can't even escape it. You don't even have time to like think like, is this real or am I making this up? It's like literally
I
like,
think
no,
if you
it's in
pay
your face.
attention to these synchronicities, they deepen.
Yes.
That's so.
As I started this video, I did the clap thing. And I said 33. My phone's on 33%. It's like everywhere. But
Yeah.
anyway, what if?
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead.
Wait, I want to do the first one.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Because interestingly, this ties in like almost exactly what we were just talking about. It's another weird synchronicity. This one comes to us from a big fan of the show, Ariel Hatfield.
Quick PSA message.
Yeah.
We're not doing the jar this time.
Right.
I just wanted to get that out of the way for those who are watching video while we're doing it on our phone. I know y'all don't care in all reality, but we've had a crazy weekend. I have like a bunch of visitors in town because it's the weekend that we're recording the 100th episode. Woo! So we've had a lot of stuff going on, and we haven't had time to like filter all the what ifs, write them down, put them in the jar, randomize them, separate them. So we're just going to do it from the phone.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through the vault and find some old ones.
Yeah. So this one was actually sent to me a couple months ago, and I never put it in the jar. I'm so sorry. But this comes from a big fan, Ariel Hatfield.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ariel.
Thank you, Ariel.
You.
Yeah, she said that her and her boyfriend are huge fans, and they watch it together every time.
Shout out Ariel and her boyfriend, Prince
out.
Eric.
Sweet.
Yeah. So this is crazy. The question is, do you think all of us talking about consciousness and waking people up is going to affect things differently than maybe it would had they woke up on their own time frame? It's kind of like.
Wait, can you
think
repeat that?
It's basically saying like, do you think us talking about the phenomenon and consciousness and all that stuff is speeding up people
Yes.
waking up, or is it having any effect on it or whatever? Which
Question.
is kind of what we were just talking about with the phenomenon, the way it ramps up with the momentum.
Question: does she mean us, Bledsoe Said So?
Oh, no.
Or people in general?
People.
Yes.
I think so. I think
Yes.
it gives context to where when you have the awakening, you know a little bit about what's going on and you're not like, what?
Yeah, but
is happening to me.
For sure. I also feel like energetically, because when you learn these things about consciousness, when you're paying attention to the phenomenon, and like even things like synchronicities, like you were just talking about, if you're paying attention to those things, like those are most likely things that raise your vibration, raise your you're putting out bigger energy,
Right.
for lack of a better way of saying it. But and I think that when those things happen, because we are nature and we interact with our energy interacts with everything around us. It's like we're one big net of energy. So yeah, if one person is ramping up, I feel like that affects everyone.
Another perspective on that. Now, Emily, you can attest to this. We used to study Kung Fu, like very hardcore, and we were into it for years.
Yep.
And the thing in Kung Fu, and then we're going to talk about how it's also relevant in spiritual esoteric circles. When you touch hands with a master, whether it's a Kung Fu master, whether it's an esoteric sage, so to speak, like the story of Jesus blessing the disciples, and then they go forward and lay their hands and they bless them with the spirit or whatever. Now let's separate from that and say, in this case, someone who has had an experience or has intimate knowledge of what these experiences are and what it all means, and this scenario is a master.
Sure. Yeah.
Metaphorically, I know we're talking about Kung Fu and esoteric, but those are just examples. So they're the master. When they're talking about this to other people, it's energetically, it's like the laying on, you're blessing other people with the knowledge.
It's like the laying of hands.
Yes, abstract.
Yeah.
But that's a thing. It's
an energy transfer.
It's an energy
Yeah.
transfer.
Yeah.
It's a real energy transfer.
I think it does. Yeah, it boosts it's a catalyst.
Yeah, it's also that weird thing where there's they do tests on like mice, right? And they'll like teach one specific mouse in like a controlled environment a specific skill or whatever, and then like every other mouse on the planet can do that thing.
It's called morphogenetic resonance.
That thing.
That too.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, if one person wakes up, it probably makes it just a tiny bit easier for every other person. It's like momentum.
And then that person wakes up
We're all
and starts
connected.
speaking it at others.
Yes.
It's both.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think there's multiple things at play here that could be increasing.
Big answer is yes.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah, that was a great question.
It's like
That
a
was
very
awesome.
obvious yes to me.
I agree. No, I totally agree.
I mean, like, no doubt, brother.
And I think the other
And
side
sister Ariel.
I think the other side of it though is like as it's speeding up and helping some people awaken, it might be creating more negative energy for others who are resisting that. And that's like
Now, that's interesting.
that's like speaking to suppression. If you're talking about suppressing emotional energy and how that can make you physically sick, if other people are waking up and you're suppressing that level of energy, think about the possibility for, that much damage energetically to go around in circles of people.
Ooh.
So like detesting that.
Uh-huh.
So it's black and white. I'm just.
It's like
I'm just
equal and
riffing here. I don't know.
opposite. Yeah, equal and opposite exchange. No,
Right.
that makes sense to me.
The image that
people
came...
are going to become like fiery against it,
Volatile.
Right, yeah.
It's going to charge people up against it. No,
Yeah.
that makes
The
sense
image
to me.
that came to my mind initially when you read the question was like, we're all a light, right? So
Yeah.
let's just say, like, metaphorically, we're all a candle, but not all of them are lit. But, you take the lit candles and you're just lighting all the unlit candles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But that's casting more shadows.
So that's kind of saying that everybody needs somebody to wake them up.
I
And
think
that
so.
You can't light yourself
Or something.
because you're a candle, not a match. I think that's the case.
Something.
I don't think people can wake themselves up.
Yeah,
Really?
I
I
think
think
so too.
something
I think it
has
takes
to.
Something, whether it's a person or
But-
an event.
A candle that's been lit before is easier to light than a brand new candle.
What if the candle
True.
is like someone suppressing it and detesting it, and they're putting a barrier over that wick, but instead the flames around them are burning the wax, so they're just melting, but they're not actually on fire?
Okay, this is getting deep.
What if it's one of those birthday trick candles that you can't blow out?
No, so the wax melts around it, exposing the wick and allowing them to be lit easier.
Uh-huh.
I think that's possible, but I think the wax just might melt and they just suffer and die because they're sick.
Oh my God.
Guys, it's about the flame.
Positive episode.
It's not about the candle. It's not about the freaking wax. It's about the light.
Yes, it is about the light. But if they're opposing the light and they're putting a barrier up and resisting the light,
Don't let Satan it out.
It's like
Wow.
I'm gonna let it shine.
Thank you for blessing us with that.
I like
Alex.
that. I like that.
So
That was
funny.
honestly
As
gold.
the one who leads music at church for the kids, that is hilarious.
Yeah, dude, I will never forget like riding in the car seat and listening to those like cheesy gospel cassette tapes for kids.
Oh yeah.
This little light of mine.
Hide it under a bushel. No.
Oh no, dude! My favorite. I got the joy down in my heart. God. That's like a fever dream.
Okay, next.
Next one. All right.
Okay, next.
All right. I thought this was a particularly exciting one. From Captain Skippy in our Patreon Mothership Discord. Shout out Captain Skippy.
Thank you, Captain Skippy.
Patreon.com/Bledsoe Said So if you want to join the mothership.
Oh, and for those who aren't aware, and we still need to record an ad for this, but Spreaker's been running an ad for us. So anyway, we do have a new Patreon show. As of today's date, we've recorded 4 episodes. It's a weekly thing. We record it, turn it around in a couple days. Comes out every Tuesday on Patreon. Same tier as the Discord. It's all the same tier. And it's full disclosure. Check it out.
It's just Ryan. So for
It's
any,
called Full Disclosure.
yeah, it's called Full Disclosure.
It's called Full Disclosure with Ryan Bledsoe.
and
Yeah.
it's,
What a
it's just
deal.
Ryan.
Well, Alex comments, but yeah, I mean,
So it's just not
he
me.
comments.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get the same amount of Alex.
But so what if dark groups use shocking and disgusting imagery to try and initiate a mass hitchhiker effect on the general public? Okay, what is to preface that for those who aren't aware? I guess if you listen to the show, you're probably aware of all the UFO terminology. Hitchhiker effect means. They talk about it all the time at Skinwalker Ranch. You go somewhere that's a paranormal hotspot, you have an experience, it comes home with you. They talk about it's in my dad's book, Hitchhiker Phenomenon. It's on the cover. People come to our property, they have experiences when they go home. So this is asking, to reiterate the question, are the elites or whoever putting out shocking imagery to create some sort of hitchhiker effect on the entire population? I think yes.
Yeah.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
I think to some extent. We've talked about this. We actually talked about this on What If 10, and I was like really pumped about it. Remember I said it was my favorite question, the whole revelation and the method thing. I think the whole purpose of the, let's just say Illuminati,
No, say it right. Say it right.
Whoa.
You get the point. It's complicated, but there is a 1% control group, and I say 1%. What does that mean? I don't. Let's just break it down. There is a small, relatively to the population size, group of people somewhere at the highest echelons of power, manipulating the global events to have an effect on the entire rest of humanity. Okay, we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Right? I know people get picky about who and what it is. Let's just break it down. They are, without a doubt, if you doubt this in 2023, you are closing your eyes, you are living a lie, you are living in a self-orchestrated delusion, or unfortunately you just haven't been made aware of this yet, and now you are. There is a ton of occult imagery in movies, in video games, and y'all know this for the listener, in music, so much occult propaganda, imagery, whatever.
It's everywhere.
Why are they doing this, right?
Yeah.
I think it's to convince us that they're way more powerful and omnipotent and omniscient than they really are, scare the bejesus out of us, and make us live in fear that they're all satanic panic, devil worshippers, and they're ultimately powerful, and there's nothing we can ever do to, liberate ourselves
makes
from...
us vulnerable.
Yeah, and scared.
And so to that question, like with all of that, like symbolism and stuff that you're seeing, and it makes you vulnerable, it could make something, latch on
onto
to you.
Yeah.
A negative energy.
And it could be subconscious.
Well, I was
Yeah.
also thinking, even like you could look at it as
lower your frequency. Maybe?
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to
Put
say.
you in
You
fear.
could look at it as the hitchhiker effect is just the lowering of your own frequency, which kind of sends you down a worse path. You know, you could kind of look at it like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think certainly it could potentially make you more vulnerable or susceptible to being latched onto by something malicious.
Yeah.
You know, I think that both could be true. But, you know, we talk about like Aleister Crowley all the time. That I mean Aleister Crowley. He shot me a look. I had to hit him with it. But you know how we think that because like he was like in the MI6, we think that it's possible that he could be doing it intentionally to,
Like perverting esoteric knowledge. I
Exactly.
really think so.
because at first when we started doing the show, like, and we first started talking about Aleister Crowley and stuff, I asked Ryan multiple times, like, okay, so this stuff is real, right? This stuff is all real. So why is this like psycho lunatic spouting off all of this stuff that like there's also really good like people with good intentions saying the same stuff? And the only thing that really makes sense to me is like it's intentional. It's to pervert it or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And what if the hitchhiker effect, I'm sitting here thinking like, if it's simply lowering your frequency, that opens you up to other lower frequencies. So then things around you happen at a low frequency that you wouldn't recognize. And it seems like a hitchhiker, like there's an entity on me.
Exactly.
And then the same thing with like high frequency experiences make you susceptible to higher frequency experiences. So then you feel like it follows you home, but it's really your frequency's higher. So you're recognizing more.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, it may not literally be something latching on,
Right.
but it could just be sending you down a darker path and making things around you, you know,
Or
happen.
even more simple, just reprogramming your subconscious belief system so that you believe about them a certain way. You know? Like bare minimum, I think that's what they're trying to achieve. I think worst case scenarios, people could be having experiences and stuff, like actual experiences. I think that's the vast minority.
Right.
I think the vast majority is, I mean, dude, like you see it all the time, like Facebook boomers. No offense to boomers, but you see Facebook boomers all the time posting, and I was guilty of this in the past. Like when you
used to be a boomer?
no, the posting. Like when you become aware that there is this control group, I feel like the initial shock is like, like, dude, this is terrible. You know what I mean? They're eating babies and shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the initial what people believe,
God, Ryan.
what they want you to believe. You know, and
Why you gotta scream so loud though? You could have got
You
your
guys-
point across at a
might
lower
not-
Are your
decibel.
ears
Yeah, you
okay
might
out?
not have headphones on. But somebody else has headphones
Just
on.
bust his eardrums, dude.
I mean, what
You'll be
can I
all
say?
I mean, what can I say?
Sometimes I just look around and I'm like, what can I do to just like
Yeah, I know. I've been friends with you a long time.
shake them up a little bit?
I've been doing it to me since I was born.
It's kind of traumatizing sometimes, but I'm used to it.
But if I do it to you, then surely it does it to them.
right.
I mean, you guys are the only ones
You're diabolical, bro.
in the room with me. Like,
You are a diabolical, reformed boomer. That's what you are.
Someone was just driving to work at 5 a.m. and almost jumped out of their seat.
You just made someone like almost crash their car.
Apologize
good
right
morning,
now.
Bledsoe Said So. I'm going to drive to work this morning. Please enjoy our smooth tunes.
The elevator music.
But it's BSS theme. Come on now.
Yeah.
No, but for real, like I feel like how can I say this in a way that doesn't sound like totally unhinged? Like organize my thoughts. I think they really want people just scared of the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Like
No,
satanic groups sacrificing people. Bro, there's 800,000 million, whatever billion missing kids a year.
Yes.
They're being brought into underground tunnels and shit.
This brings up an important point, I think, which is that, you know, it is very important to understand the information that you're absorbing with context. Who is saying it? What is their
And
intention?
detachment.
Right, yeah, of course. Like, what is their intention in saying it? And also, like, you sometimes you gotta cross-reference and see like where is this information really coming from? Where's like the origin of this information?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people can put dark spins on light things to try and taint it.
Yes.
In ways like that. So, sometimes you gotta do a little bit of due diligence and make sure that the source,
And like, I want to make it clear, I'm not trying to insult people's intelligence. I'm not trying to sit here and tell people that they're wrong and that none of this stuff is true. What I am trying to tell people is that just don't give your joy and your peace away to these people that obviously are manipulating the entire world media for the sole purpose of causing us to be afraid. Why even sit here and think about this stuff?
Yeah.
You know the story. You know the truth that there are light beings coming down. Focus on that.
Yeah.
Focus. It's like what the Buddhists say. And Bruce Lee loved this quote. Bruce Lee added this. I think it was in Enter the Dragon. He gave the quote. And this is a real Buddhist philosophy quote. It's like, think about the finger pointing at the moon. You're at the night sky and you see a brilliant full moon and its radiance is just dazzling. But you're so stuck on the fucking finger. Don't look at the finger.
Look past it.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Look at the light. People are so focused on this conspiracy shit. And like, I'm not saying it's true or it's not. I'm saying, what's the point?
Exactly. That's what I was just thinking too. It kind of doesn't matter if it's true or not. I mean, sure.
Protect your light.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like you can go down this rabbit hole and feel your energy in your body like start to, go down as you're thinking about these things, and then you can snap and say, "Oh, well, right now in this moment, I'm sitting in this chair and I have a glass of water that tastes, good because I'm thirsty, and I can just walk outside and be happy and like not ever worry about things that I can't control, even if it's real or not."
Yeah. No, I used to get so mad and so worked up about it.
Me too, bro.
Yeah.
That's why we became friends in the beginning. It was what we were talking about.
That's the trap.
Exactly. That's why I say this, because I'm speaking from experience. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. But it makes me think of the bell curve. You know what I'm talking about? Like you have the bell curve and the far left is like never looked into it, never watched TV, just the simpleton, happy as could be.
Yeah.
And then you have all the conspiracy theorists in the middle, just miserable because of where they're at. And then everybody on the other side is just like, it doesn't matter.
It's all going to work out.
Yeah.
Just
It's funny that you mentioned that, Emily. I find that I have to do that exact thing
Me
that you're
too.
talking about. Like, if I read like a scary news article or something that's like makes me, there's always articles and news stories about like war. These
War
countries
III's coming.
Yeah, or these countries are at war or all this stuff. And for a second, I'll be like, ooh, that's scary. But then I'll be like, I got Hot Pockets in the freezer. I could just go eat that. Oh, shoot, everything's good.
And people out there, just to defend your position, I've gotten
Defend me.
I've gotten comments like on Twitter and stuff. I sometimes go on rants on there if I'm in a mood. I've been better about it lately, but sometimes I'll say some stuff about this, and I'll get comments like, "You're choosing to let the people in power win by not using your power to vote or to this or to that." But like, to me personally, I truly believe that this reality is not what it seems. It is a very funny, purely spiritual thing, and we are only seeing like a glimpse of it in our day-to-day life. And truly, and I'm not exaggerating, I'm not being funny, the only thing that matters in any person's life, I believe, is building, recognizing, fostering, protecting your individual light, and doing everything you can in your power when you're at a level to help other people see that in themselves.
Facts.
It's taking your candle, making it light, and then putting a barrier over it.
So that Satan
Like a
can't.
cloche.
So it's protected, and then sharing it when it's appropriate with the right candle.
It doesn't matter if you participated in this election. I don't care what anybody says. You know why? Because everybody lives about 70 years or so, and then you die, and you're fucking dust in the ground being eaten by termites. And then the next, so to speak, governor dude or whoever is going to be elected in the next. None of it matters.
Right.
But-
It doesn't matter.
Can I add on to what you said, though, about protecting your light? I think protecting your light would also encompass protecting like what you truly believe to be right. So that kind of protects against like, I don't think, and I know you're not sitting here telling people, let people get over on you, let people take advantage of you.
I'm not saying that.
No, you're saying protect your light. And what I'm saying is I think that encompasses you got to stand up for what's right because that's also protecting your light.
But here's the thing.
You can't get wrapped up in the political theater and play games.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying just be a little docile, like let people just like rob you blind. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in the grand scheme of things, when we talk the media, all the hip hop artists, the Hollywood stars, the rock stars, the politicians, the billionaires, all these people that are just going to live 70 years like me and you, none of this tiny little shit matters, because all that really matters is this grand cosmic scheme of things that's all orchestrated by the stars. This age of Aquarius approaching, that we're all just little tiny little specks of dust playing out on some massive, infinitely unfathomable chessboard of events happening. It doesn't fucking matter if you go and you vote at your local politics. It really doesn't. It doesn't. You might think it matters. It doesn't. You know why? Because everyone else will too. Reality is funny. It's like a simulation. And that one person everyone else around them will. Everyone else around you will. It doesn't matter. Everyone always externally from your individual reality that you're experiencing will give their shit away to the system. So why do you? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially if it brings you any sort of like personal tumult or like negative thoughts or energy, like doing something like that. You shouldn't do it just because you shouldn't do anything because you feel obligated to, especially if it makes you feel bad. You should protect your peace at all costs in all scenarios. I have gone through a good bit of that where I just have to prioritize my peace above other things. And sometimes it puts you in a worse scenario in some ways. But ultimately, if your peace is intact and protected, it's all good. It's all good.
At the risk of sounding a little crazy here, like what if they, really pressure you to vote so that you have to pay attention, so you will be informed, so you're you're paying attention to the political chaos, and so you're affected by it.
And I don't want to tell people,
voting's fine.
Break it away from the voting. It's not even about that.
No, no.
It's about being engaged in this system that's radicalizing people, splitting them apart, and just making everybody hate. Just focus on yourself and being positive, and don't let anybody sit there and point a finger at you and be like, "Hey, bro, you need to fucking vote for so-and-so." Well, you need to shut the fuck up, because all that matters is I'm living the best life that I can spiritually and mentally and taking care of myself, and I'm trying to show that to other people around me.
Love thy neighbor.
Love thy neighbor.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
It's okay to contribute by voting, though. He's not saying
that was just an example.
Right.
I'm not condemning people who...
He's just saying don't get so wrapped up in...
the system.
And like forcing other people to vote because...
Yeah, forget the voting thing. I'm just saying, in general, like the world out there, the big magic stage.
The material world.
Shakespeare said, the world is but a stage. Mm-hmm. This reality that we come to, the soul comes here in a physical body, and when you're born, it's like a rule to be a part of this game. It forgets all these grand cosmic rules.
Right.
And you live your life, and you're like, oh, shit, this system really sucks. You're like... dang, like I gotta pay to even stay here. I gotta pay taxes. I gotta pay for food.
I gotta pay if I get hurt.
I gotta pay to have a baby, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta pay to just give birth.
Yeah.
You gotta pay for everything.
Yeah.
It's an evil system.
It is.
So forget about all that. Just focus on surviving and being just the kindest, loving, most beautiful light that you can be. Who gives a shit about all that other stuff that the TV's sitting there running their fucking mouth about?
Yeah.
Forget it.
Yep.
It's rigged.
Yeah.
That's my point. I'm sorry I went on a rant, but...
Dude, you're about to fight somebody.
Ryan is not anti-voters.
Ryan's about to take all those candles and throw them at people. That's exactly what his energy is.
And I'm being genuine because I've lived my life having fringe on the edge of reality experiences since I was a child, and desperately just wanting to shake people and show them that there's more than what you guys are sitting
really
here.
Matters.
I'm going to a social situation and I'm listening to the shit that people are talking about, and it hurts my soul.
Yeah.
Because there's so much more than what everybody else is talking about and
I
thinking
have a lot
about.
of friends that I have seen personally in elections in the last, few terms have been really, polarizing. And I have seen people on both sides be personally very deeply moved and hurt by the elections, and their peace is wrecked.
Completely.
by this. And it's like, you can have a voice and have a vote and an opinion, and that matter. But if it's affecting your peace and your well-being, that's the issue. That's what Ryan's saying.
And your connection with others.
Don't let it affect your soul.
You're articulating it better than me.
Yes.
But
I'm here to
I have a point in all this madness.
No, Ryan.
That's my Bledsoe baby.
Yes. This is my role in the Bledsoe family. No, Ryan, you're right on point though. But like your personal peace is worth protecting. And if in this situation, this conversation, the election or whatever is affecting it, you should have another look at it. You know what Dad says to me randomly? He said to me, this is not related to the election, but he said to me the other day, just randomly, like mysteriously, he was like, the world is nothing but magic.
Whoa.
I'm just like getting a sandwich. And he's like, I didn't have any sandwich stuff in my house, so I go to make one of theirs, and he's like, everything's magic.
That's facts. He just be dropping them fact bombs.
Everything is magic.
Yeah.
But think about that.
Everything's
Shakespeare's
magic.
quote, man. The world is but a stage.
Do you want to be making
it's
white
all a
magic
stage.
and living your life positively in the moment, or do you want to have black magic on yourself?
Right.
And like live in this negative space that you're creating.
No, that they are creating.
Right.
Well,
But you can create it too.
Yeah.
By feeding
True,
into it.
true.
It's both.
and what's crazy about like talking about your friends where their peace has been absolutely wrecked. Their peace got absolutely destroyed sitting in their living room watching TV.
That's my point.
Like turn it off.
Or
It's
the
all on
internet.
TV,
Or
like
on
the
on
internet.
their
Yeah.
cell
Turn it
phone.
off.
It's
Yeah.
out there.
It's the same thing with people like arguing about whatever online. It doesn't matter what the issue is. People just arguing with each other online and all this stuff.
If every person on the planet were to practice this and stop freaking out about stuff and to just like look inside themselves, enjoy the moment, and be authentic with that, the world would be a better place.
the world will be
And I think if a lot of people were to start doing it, it would make that momentum build.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
It
just
is
don't want
building.
people to give their power away.
Yeah.
Throw your
Right.
TV away unless you're watching
no,
us
no,
on your
no.
TV.
No, but
Unless you're watching us on your TV, then
Okay, you're sounding like
I don't know.
that sounded like some authoritarian like
I
Disney
really-
conglomerate media there, buddy.
I really like
Everybody
Ted Lasso.
only watch
Lasso
Bledsoe Said
Wait,
So.
there's a Ted Lasso episode y'all need to watch.
I'm caught up.
Oh,
We're
Nick
gonna,
hasn't seen.
No, I'm
you know
saving
what I'm
it.
talking about.
I'm saving it. He
Yeah.
told me, he was like, there's a straight
I
up.
didn't say what happens.
Right. But he said there's an episode in the new season that is like very, very mystical.
yes.
So-
I was like, oh my God.
Which like they drop little hints and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
in the first
Not this
couple
season.
seasons.
It
No,
ain't
this one's
hints.
straight up.
It's
Yeah.
not hints.
I'm saving it until it's all
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
and then I'm gonna
Well-
binge it. Me and Casey are gonna binge it in a day or two.
Well,
I
thanks,
can't wait.
Captain Skippy.
Oh yeah,
thanks, Captain
great
Skippy.
That was
question.
our second question.
Yo, Alex, do you have one that you wanna read?
I can pull one up real quick.
I mean, if you don't have one,
I
pick
guess we
one.
have time for that sweet number third.
Oh yeah, I don't have one
trilogy.
ready, but
Well, I have
give me
one
some-
that's kind of.
Oh, if you're on deck, rock and roll, brother.
Emily, you want to read that
Which one is it?
The one from Energy Found.
Energy Found. Thank you so much. This is a Discord person.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
So this question is, what if the phenomenon uses mycelium networks to collect information about Earth health? I love that.
Dude. So it's not about
Uses mushroom networks
right
to collect
Right.
information on Earth health
that
specifically.
Yeah, that is the part because I read it initially and I thought it meant like just about Earth in general, but specifically like the health of the Earth. That's interesting to me because I've always looked at mycelium networks as like the nervous system
Yeah.
of the Earth.
It's,
Yeah.
it's,
Or like the
it can
synapses
report.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind
Exactly.
of similar thing, but
I mean, the mycelium is just kind of inherently mind-blowing and amazing that
Yeah.
there's this crazy net organism underground that we don't consider alive, but it clearly communicates.
It is alive.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is alive. It's like, but I guess people wouldn't consider it like sentient or
Mainstream.
whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mainstream.
it's getting there.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the
definitely-
way to that.
Everywhere you look now in the stores, mushroom stuff.
Oh, you're
Shirts,
right. Like
hats.
decorations, it's everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Athletic clothing. Literally, I just saw an ad, and I was like, I have to buy this hat. It has a little mushroom.
I think
on it.
Nike has a mushroom shirt now.
Jack has it.
Yeah, that's where I've seen it.
It's just Interesting. But
Definitely.
yeah, I think that would make sense. Like, what else would they use to collect information on the Earth?
I mean,
Right.
my
It's abstract. It's really like
my initial thought
thought-provoking.
is like they wouldn't
Need to?
need that.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe, but at the same time, if you think a little outside of the box, it's like there are so many things that we don't know.
We don't understand.
We don't
Yeah,
understand.
It's very cool to think about.
My thought is it either is like what they are speculating or it's like a regulator. Like it, you know what I'm saying? Like it.
Well, we know that it does regulate things to a certain extent, like trees in a forest. They use mycelium networks to pass nutrients to one another. Like, it's so strange.
If a tree is getting overshadowed and
Yes.
is not able to reach the sun and grow, it will.
Exactly. The other trees can tell if one tree is not getting enough nutrients, and they will pass nutrients through mycelium.
You know what else it does? Also, like, you know how it's under all the trees and whatnot. So like, there's this complete in any forest. There's this network under the ground, a massive network of mycelium. And imagine humans and animals walking through the forest. Every time you step on the ground with the mycelium beneath it, it's like pinging it to all the surrounding plants.
Like AWA.
Do you think that
Yeah.
that's happening if you're wearing rubber shoes?
No.
I mean, it's
Not
like
at
it's
all?
like pressure, man.
No,
Yeah, I
but-
think it's
but-
a vibration.
But
Yeah.
think
No,
about it in
I
like.
meant you're not connecting with it.
Oh, right.
yeah,
right.
yeah. Think
That's
about
why you
the
need to
connection.
ground.
Well, I'm not
Right.
even talking about that. I'm talking about the vibrations,
Right.
like the impact.
But that's
like,
why we need
like
to
the
be
trees know
grounding.
when you're around
100%.
because of the mycelium.
Did you see that one? Did y'all see that documentary on? Was it Fantastic Fungi or something on
Yeah.
Netflix?
I haven't watched it.
I think that's
Oh.
the one I learned
Pretty
that
good.
from.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's
Yeah.
so cool. And we were talking about this earlier because we all went outside earlier and grounded outside. We were just like,
Yeah, I asked y'all too earlier, and no one would except Casey. And then I left, and then everyone grounded without me. But yeah, think about it. Like if tires on a car are what prevent a car from being electrocuted from lightning, and you walk outside with rubber shoes on, you're not connecting to that energy transfer from the earth.
yeah, it makes perfect sense to me.
There's a whole conspiracy about that, but
Really? Oh,
about how
About
shoes
what?
were manufactured in
Yeah.
a way that disconnects you from nature.
You know what I wonder?
There's a whole thing on that.
I wonder. Okay, so let's think about
Like
that for a second.
everything. Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
What if you had like leather shoes on?
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
moccasins,
it'd
bro.
be better.
Like moccasins or
Like the
something.
natives.
they wore them.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like
That's what
Well,
I'm saying. It's
I'm
just
sure the transfer. You could get electrocuted through moccasins.
right.
And-
so energy could
Plus,
pass
it's like
through that.
because-
living material
well, like-
was
Yeah.
dead. but-
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was living skin.
It's
at
organic
one point.
Right. Yeah,
material.
organic
Right,
material.
It's organic. yeah.
But also modern shoes too, over time, have deformed the human foot.
Yeah.
well,
So-
they've definitely deformed mine because I got all kind of issues.
and made it more narrow. Your feet are
Not
supposed
mine.
to be wide,
Mine.
and that's going to help you with swimming, climbing, walking, balancing.
oh, they're squishing our feet, bro.
Yeah.
It's a foot conspiracy.
Chinese foot binding.
They're putting candles in
You
our
need the-
shoes.
you don't need the feet. Sit down at your
Chinese
desk.
foot binding?
Click on
Yeah,
the
you don't need
computer.
your feet. Sit down.
You don't need your feet.
Hover around in this chair that feeds you.
You know, I was having some pretty
Wally.
severe like. Wally.
Yeah, he said.
I love. You
Alex
said
is
Wally?
on one today.
Oh, hey, yeah, he said Wally.
I love
He said
Wally.
you're floating around in a chair that feeds you. He's talking about Wally. Fun fact about Wally. Shout out to my lovely wife who is sitting out there right now. Like 13 years ago, I asked her to be my girlfriend while we were watching Wally. I just wanted to throw that in.
You
Which
guys are like
scene?
Wally and Eve.
Huh?
Which scene?
Yeah, it's
Oh, it was-
Put on your Sunday clothes. There's lots of world.
No, it was like towards the end when like Eve and Wally like finally like
And you were so moved.
yes.
And the little kiss.
That's
Yeah,
cute. I mean, you're like
yeah, it was-
16, bro. Like, this is perfect.
Exactly. I was 16. Casey was 14.
Time is now.
Yeah, I was like,
love
oh my
Wally.
god, it's now or never. This is a sign.
Well, hey, what if we kiss like Eve and Wally at the Waffle House on High Hrothgar?
Oh my god, dude! I think you just gave me a stroke. That was a lot.
Well, I was gonna say earlier, I was having some pretty severe like foot pain a few years ago, and you know what solved it?
What?
Moving to New York and walking everywhere.
Oh, I
for real?
bet.
When I was moving there, do you remember I was scared about the walking because I was having foot issues? I
No.
moved there and they went away.
What?
Because I
is-
just walked more.
What kind of issues?
Just like structural issues. I have naturally very high arches, but also my toe. It's irrelevant.
I have the
But
opposite problem. My
pain.
feet are flat and they go like this. Whatever that is.
Like,
It's not
that's not pigeon toed, is
Duck
it?
foot.
duck foot. Pigeon toed is the opposite.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
inward.
Yeah.
pigeon toed.
My feet are literally like
I'm
like
just
a
surrounded
penguin.
by a bunch of birds.
What?
Because he said he's pigeon footed.
What? Did you just call
you're
us
a duck
birds?
and he's pigeon.
What? How dare you?
That's not an insult.
Dude,
You're the wise
The
owl.
hawk
What am I?
flies the
you're the
highest.
wise owl.
What am
Bro,
I?
the god is.
Well, you
God
have
is,
you have
the
like
eagle
the
and
big
the hawk, man.
arches, so maybe like a flamingo or something,
I'll take it.
because they're tall.
I'll take it.
I don't know. I don't.
They're pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why they're pink?
Why?
Shrimp.
What they
Oh yeah,
eat.
They eat shrimp.
They eat shrimp.
That's a good what if for you. What if they never ate shrimp?
They'd be
Yo,
rainbow colored.
What color is a polar bear's fur?
black.
Their
Oh,
skin's
fur? I
black.
thought you said
It's
fur.
clear.
It's clear.
Aha.
I thought you meant skin. My bad.
Clear. Got them. What if polar bears weren't clear?
What if polar bears didn't like slaughter and devour humans when they? It's bloody, man.
They're huge.
It's bloody.
Yeah, I know.
They fuck
They
them
love
up.
Coca-Cola.
That is a fact. That's a known, undebatable fact. They do love Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I missed that, man.
While they eat
Back in the
humans.
day when you're walking,
They wash
through
it down with a Coke.
Yeah, I missed that, man. Just seeing like Santa Claus chilling with the polar bears, just like sipping on Coke, man. And you know, back then they had the cocaine in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I missed that.
When we were
You missed
kids.
All right, that's the perfect place to end the episode right there. Love that. Love that. Love you guys.
All right, yeah,
All
I
right,
guess
love you
we're
guys.
out of time. So, Emily, you want to ring us out?
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, check out our other videos.
And before you go, don't forget to subscribe. See you next week. Peace.